Hi guys, so today we are doing a very different video. I'm currently in my truck, as you can see, and I've got Harley and Chase with me. This morning we are actually at a produce auction, and so I wanted to videotape a little bit about this. This is up at in Amish country, so I'm not going to videotape the actual auction itself because of their beliefs and everything. It's not good to videotape the Amish. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the produce auction, and then I'm going to tell you what we buy. So I'm at the produce auction today because, as you all know, we've gone through a drought situation and none of my plants are really producing currently as they should be, which is fine because they're all gonna catch up. But from time to time, I will come to the produce auction. And I will come up here to buy produce to sell, but I will also come up here just to buy produce for myself. Sometimes we'll come up here and we'll buy seconds to feed to our animals because they like produce too. So they do, they love watermelons, and it's like a nice treat for them. So the produce auction that we go to is mostly done by the Amish, and although they don't always grow things organically, there are organic options up here from time to time, but I do like to support them when I can because I feel like they work really hard and they deserve $1 too. So I like to give them our money when we can. I know there's other produce auctions closer to the city, and I think they import all of their vegetables. Don't quote me on that because I don't know for a fact. But I have heard in the past that those types of produce auctions, they do import food from other states and stuff like that. So I would rather just buy here because I know this stuff comes locally. And it is. It's a beautiful drive up here. We love it. I always say that I could move up here in a heartbeat. I love the people. It's just such a nice place. And we're in Smicksburg, Pennsylvania, by the way, so that you know. But so a little bit about the produce auction. When you come, you get your number, and all you have to do is have a valid driver's license, and you give them your phone number, and so they'll give you a number, and then there's lots, and they'll sell things maybe by the pint, by the quart, by the piece, by the pound. It just really depends on what the item is that you're looking at. So if there were pumpkins, they would sell them by the piece. So say there's a box, a big crate of like 25 pumpkins, you're gonna pay by the piece. So when the auctioneer reads off, goes on the dollar amount, you're paying, by the piece. But you have to pay attention because sometimes you're paying by the pound or by the quart. One time I bought oh God, I don't know. It was the first time I came up here, and I bought a massive box of bell peppers. A pallet of bell peppers, and it was somewhere around like $120 just for this thing of bell peppers. And I had more bell peppers than I knew what to do with. My husband was about ready to kill me. Anyway, so you just have to really pay attention. But there's, yeah, it was a funny day. I laugh about it now, but it wasn't funny then. So we just come up here, we look, and we source the best things that we can find. I don't mind buying things that are slightly ugly. This is a little hack. If you're looking for buying things that are the lowest intervention of like chemicals and pesticides and whatnot like that, buy things that aren't perfect, because then you know that they're either heirloom or they haven't been really treated too much. So that's, I don't always look for the most perfect thing. Of course you want a beautiful fruit, but sometimes I get the little ugly things. It's okay. Real food it's not perfect, and real food isn't, it comes dirty, as Roots and Refuge says. She has a lot of good sayings. If you haven't watched Roots and Refuge, I highly suggest you go do that. Anyways, I'm gonna get off here because the auction is starting, and I'm going to go in there and see what kind of goodies we can get, and we'll catch back up with you. All right, guys, it's been a long day, and we're sitting out here. We just got done with barn work, and we're enjoying a beautiful sunset. Let me show you. I don't know if you guys can see that.
The videos really don't make a difference.
Yeah, never does. It is very beautiful. So we were at the produce auction earlier, and we did get some things, and I will put some footage in at the end, or right before this clip, not sure which, of what we got. So we got a few things. And so I wanted to tell you a couple takeaways on the produce auctions and what we think about them. So first of all, produce auctions, in my opinion, are a great tool and a great asset. It allows people to go buy things in bulk. So if you're somebody that likes to can, like me, going to a produce auction is a very beneficial thing because it allows you to buy a large quantity of vegetables at a time. The con is you don't exactly know how it was grown. And so there's a couple hacks. Of course, buying in a produce auction, you're still buying from a local farmer if you go to the one that we go to, or one similar where there's a lot of Amish or Mennonites or local farmers. You're getting from a local person and they have grown it, so you're already leaps and bounds ahead of buying something at a grocery store. But that being said, you still don't know exactly what they're using, how they're growing things. So like I said at the beginning of the video, I do like to look for things that are less than perfect. We bought some strawberries today, and I got some jamberry strawberries, and they're about this big, a little smaller than a quarter maybe, where some people might covet a giant berry. These ones are smaller and less perfect, and let me tell you, the flavor is twice as good. So, you know, we look for those things. We look for, like, so tomatoes. I don't typically buy tomatoes at produce auctions. No, I don't need to. But if you were going to go buy a tomato at a produce auction, look for one that's not perfect. Maybe it has, you know, some imperfections and some blemishes. That just means that you're probably more prone to getting something that hasn't been treated with chemicals like fertilizers, or especially with pesticides. So those types of things are totally okay, because your fruit is still going to be perfectly edible, but you just know that maybe it doesn't have as much contamination, if that's the right word. That's not really the word I want to use, but I think you understand what I'm trying to get at. The other thing is, if you're going to a fruit stand, if you're going to a farmer's market, there is a huge chance and a huge possibility that you're buying something that comes from a produce auction anyways. So by you going to a produce auction, you're just cutting out the middleman, which was, you know, another reason why I don't like to videotape when I go to those types of things, is because sometimes there are businesses there, and you know, they don't always like to tell you that they're buying things at a produce auction. They, you know, you think they're buying from somebody that's growing it themselves. So I don't really like to disclose those types of things, but just know that it does happen. That is reality. That is how things go. And I'm on this channel to teach and to educate you and to be honest with you. I show you what we grow here, and like I said, the reason I went is because I do have customers, and we do have our farmers markets, and I want to be able to bring you guys good produce. So, oh, the fam is home. Anyways, I want to be able to bring you guys good produce, but at the same time, right at this very moment, I'm not able to supply it. So that's why this works out very, very well. Change of scenery, and I was going to bring you guys back here and sit in my bean garden. Look, 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 look. My new bean row has sprouted finally. Yay! It's the little things that I get so excited about. So seeing these new rows of beans means I will have an additional harvest after this one. That makes me happy. Anyways, I'm gonna sit down here with my bean babies and we'll finish the video. Where did I leave off, Harley?
Something about people not growing their stuff.
No, but that wasn't the takeaway.
Oh, hi, Beans.
Hi, Beans.
Yeah,
I'm sure most normal people come and sit with their beans. But no, anyways, oh, I was going to talk about the pricing. That was what I wanted to talk about. Very important. So this year, I did notice that for the same money that I would have spent in previous years, I didn't get a lot of things. So this, as a consumer, is going to reflect on you guys in the long run, because what people get at the produce auction, they usually get for a good deal. And I'm seeing prices there are pretty inflated. And also the selection was, would you say less than half what they normally have? At least half. It was low. We went through in 1 hour, it was done. And usually those things last 3 hours, give or take, maybe 4. Depending on the time of year. Usually when they have the pumpkins and stuff, it's it's a little bit longer because they have so many. But yeah, so the prices are really, really high this year. And the selection is very, very small, which obviously is why the price is going higher, because you have more competition for less supplies. So just something to keep in mind, because I feel like this is probably going to happen more as the summer goes along, and so that these prices are going to reflect for you guys in the long run. What I got, I'm really, really happy with what we got. We left there with strawberries. Oh, this was the other thing I wanted to talk about. You can decide to purchase things that have a lower potential for pesticides and fertilizers. So we got potatoes because our potato crop's just about ready, but it's not quite there yet. And actually, yeah, so like last year we got potatoes from up there a couple times and they were fantastic. And actually I think we used some of them for seed potatoes. Potatoes are one of those crops that have very little intervention. There's very little that you can spray or do with them. And also they're a root crop, so they come from inside the ground, obviously. Any intervention would be to the outside, the top part of the plant. So that's something that you can buy and have a good chance of, you know, little to no contamination. We also got cauliflower. No, we did not get the cauliflower. We got cabbage. I do love some cabbage. I got nice little heads that are just absolutely beautiful and really, really tender. Cabbage is something that I don't always have the best time planting because we have a lot of caterpillar moths, and so these people plant these in high tunnels all year round, and you have low pest pressure in a high tunnel. The other thing, what else did we get? Oh, some green beans. And I bought the green beans because I actually know the Amish farmer that had them up there. And he said, these are my beans. And I said, I'll take them. And that's also because my beans aren't quite ready yet. So, yeah. And so, long story short, produce auctions are a fantastic tool. A lot of people use them, although it's very little people know about them. You can get some really good deals, although this year the price of things are a bit higher than they were last year. Maybe that will settle down, or maybe it won't. And also the amount of things that you can purchase seems to be a lot less. So that's just what I noticed. I hope you guys like this video. It's a little bit different than what I normally do. Okay, watch, these are sharp. They're sharp. It's a little bit different than what I normally do, but it's information that I feel is useful. A lot of you guys can look into these types of things. If you're interested in the produce auction that I went to today, you can feel free to comment down below. I will leave the information for the produce auction in the details in the video description. I will talk to you guys again real soon. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share with your friends, let everybody know, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye!